All right, good morning. So I told you yesterday that I was going to show you guys how to make the keto coffee. So there's a couple of different recipes. Primarily the main keto coffee is a cup of brewed black coffee, 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter, and you need, so it's 3 tablespoons total, and it can be 2 of coconut or 2 of butter. You just have to decide which is which. I prefer the flavor of the coconut oil, so I do 2 coconut, 1 butter. I definitely unsalted butter. I don't know if I want salt in my coffee this early in the morning. So the other thing, so for me, I like my coffee a little stronger, plus I also like the taste of espresso a little better. So I have, excuse the shakiness, I'm going to move my camera so you can see. Alright, so the way I start this, I have my espresso machine. Use this to get water, always filtered water, never hot water. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter for that, but I can't use hot water with this. Fill this bad boy up. Oop. Yeah, a little too much. Okay. Let's clean this out. So I got extra left over from yesterday. Keep your coffee grounds in a sealed container. Do not freeze your coffee grounds. I don't know if you know this, but it actually destroys the oils in the coffee. Tamp it down. Alright, so that is brewing. So, to explain the blender. So the blender is used specifically to almost froth the coffee, and then you get more of a latte-esque like coffee. So 1 tablespoon of butter. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Organic coconut oil. Get it from Walmart. I think it was like $9 for this big ass container. So it's not expensive. Considering you're only using 2 tablespoons every day, it doesn't go very fast. Alright. Scoop it out, level it off, dump it in the thing. Doesn't have to be perfect. The whole point of this is to keep it simple, right? Now, for those of you that haven't had this coffee, you might be thinking, man, that looks disgusting. I said the same thing when I tried this coffee for the first time. I gotta tell you, I was very pleasantly surprised the first time I drank this coffee. It actually, you can't taste the coconut. I mean, you can a little bit, but not enough for it to be like, oh my gosh, this is so coconutty. But coconut oil is not really very coconutty to start with. Adding the butter gives a really nice creaminess texture to it. And then the coffee. Now, a lot of lattes you can get sweet or unsweet. In my case, like I showed you yesterday, I use a sweetener substitute, the stevia or the Splenda. And I did lie. Well, I didn't lie. I'm misinformed. I do use 2 packets of Splenda, so 2 carbs. Gives me 23 for the rest of the day. Put it right here in the blender. This is one of those little, like, I got 10 years ago, the Hamilton blenders that you get to make your shakes with. Like, it was when they were doing, you know, the Hamilton shakes or whatever. You can buy the shakes, add stuff to it. This is a single serve shake thing, and it works wonders for this bulletproof coffee. It's awesome. So throw it in there like that. And when I'm ready, I will throw it in here and show you what it looks like. So let that finish dripping. So there's my 4 shots of espresso. Pour it right in the blender. Now this is hot as shit. So with it being as hot as it is, it helps melt the oil and the butter. Now this lid doesn't seal super well, and so I tend to pulse it a little bit before I start really getting it going. And the point of this is it froths the fats that are in it, and so it gets it, like I said, the latte-esque type creaminess. It's spitting up already. Went from black to creamy. Now, realistically, I could just drink out of this, but I prefer it out of my coffee mug. Gotta love my Boise hot cross. Because Boise is awesome. Look at that. Nice and frothy. Cheers. Actually, I decided that I'm gonna make breakfast for you guys. So, medium pan. It's already hot. Olive oil. A good drizzle. I'd say I use probably about half a tablespoon of olive oil in the pan. Not a ton. Just enough to keep stuff from not sticking. 4 scrambled eggs. Well, these aren't scrambled, but you get the point. Now I'm super lazy when it comes to scrambled eggs. Plus, I don't like doing dishes. So when I do scrambled eggs, I just throw them in the pan, crack them right into the pan. I use my spatula to scramble them up, season them, and then cook them. So, yeah, just wait for the pan to get a little warmer. Avocado, I think, is a little overripe. No, it's perfect. Didn't quite cut it in half, but it's good. A little ripe, but good stuff. Trusty spatula. Gotta love the pepper. Give it a good mix. Yeah, it looks like that. So I just let it sit for a minute. And then you get to look at my pretty face for a minute. Alright, so I probably should measure, but I don't. But I use probably about a 1/4 cup of cheese on my eggs. So not a ton, but I eat a lot of cheese. I mentioned yesterday that avocados was a phenomenal fat. What I meant by that is it's filled with omega-3s, which is significantly better fat than the saturated fat that usually comes with, well, fried stuff, eggs, etc. Now, I don't know if you guys do this, but I have a certain way I cut my avocado that allows me to dice it in the skin. So the first thing I do is I slice it down, and then I go sideways. And then when I pull it out with the spoon, it's already diced, and I don't have to cut it to make a mess or anything of the sorts, which is nice. And the chef says the food is ready.